Hey everyone, this is BremSter, and this is Killer Lineup by Chili from the Cagey Constraints Pack. And this is one of the few puzzles that has actually benefited from the 18-month delay we had, because this was originally a puzzle called Killer Crossword. And the reason it was called Killer Crossword is it had a whole bunch of overlapping cages. But if you've ever set a puzzle where you've tried to overlap killer cages, it's terrible. Even if you try and make them different colors and everything, when you do something like what you've got in the middle here, it was kind of impossible to tell what was going on. You could kind of figure it out, but you really needed to pull it apart and see, was there like some dots in here or anything? But with the new ability we've got to be able to draw lines like this, we thought, let's turn these into killer lines. So this is part of the Cagey Constraints Pack, but the killer cages have evolved a little bit in this puzzle, and they've become lines. But this puzzle was originally a killer cage, but we've modified them to be killer lines for visibility, and because we can, because while you could kind of tell what was going on with overlapping cages like this, down here this was just kind of impossible to see what was going on. And I mean, not impossible, but very, very challenging. And I think this looks just nicer. So what we're going to do is we're going to try killer lines, but they work exactly the way you think. So normal Sudoku rules apply. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Digits on lines must sum to the number in the circle attached to that line, and digits may not repeat within a line, and the different color lines are just for clarity. So that's the way it works. So they work exactly the same as killer cages. These 4 cells must sum to 12, and digits may not repeat on a line. These 4 cells must sum to 13, and digits may not repeat within a line. They work exactly the same way as cages, except we've turned them into lines so that you can do, it looks neater. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. I have no idea on the difficulty of this one. I may have tested this one when it was a killer cage puzzle. Let's give this a shot. Okay, so there's something going on up here straight away that I can see, because on an 8 line, the maximum digit you can put is a 5. So the biggest this could be is 5, because if you do 5, these are forced to be 1, 2, which are the smallest digits they could be. But on a 22 line, if this is a 5, I think, yeah, these would have to sum to 17, which are the biggest digits they could be. So this is a 5, these are 8, 9, and these are 1, 2. And okay, there might be a problem here with pencil marks and digits in these positions. We will see how this goes. But I've definitely seen constraints that cause more problems with scanning than this. So we'll see how we go. But this, now the maximum this could, well, I think this 5 is going to have an impact down here now, because on a 9 line, the maximum digit you could put is 6. So this could be a 6, but if it's not a 6, this would have to be a 4, because it can't be a 5. I can't put a 7 because these would have to be 1 and 2. But on a 22, as we've determined up here, I can't put a 4 because these would have to sum to 18. So this is a 6, which means these are 1 and 2. And with 6 on a 22, the other digits have to sum to 16, which is 7 and 9. I wonder if the visibility is improved if I turn on outlines on elements. A little, not a lot. Okay. But now this 9 line can't have a 6 on it. So the maximum this could be is 5, because I can't use a 6. And if I use a 4, these would have to sum to 18. This is a 5, which means these are, no, that's not true. These have to sum to 4. So they're 1, 3. But this is now a 22 with a 5 on it. So these are 8, 9. And I've got these triples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, and 8 go into those. And this is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 3, 4, 7. Okay, there is a problem here, because that is a 10 line. So, okay, I've definitely seen things that are worse. So this is 3, 7, or 6. I'm wondering how we fix this. Because I did run this past, oh, hang on, but this can't be 3 or 7 because the 3, 4, 7 is here. So this is 6 and 4. Okay, so that resolves pretty quickly and we get that. So we'll see how we go. So the 6 here means that this has to be a 7, 8 line because it's a 15 line and I can't use 6, 9. And the 8, 9 looks like making that the 7 and that the 8. Can I resolve this 9 line? I fully acknowledge this is probably not the best way of displaying this constraint, but believe me, it's still better than the way it was with the cages. I'm sure we'll come up with something better if we do another puzzle like this. So these, it could be 1, 2, 6, which would put a 6 here, but this is, so hang on, what's the minimum I can put on a 29 line? 21 line. So this is 6 or 4. If I put 4 here, these would have to sum to 17, but I can't put a 3 here, or these would have to sum to 18. So this is 4 or 6. Okay, I've got that. But I'm not sure. Hang on. No. So I'm not sure where I'm going now. Surely I can't put a 9 in here. Because if I put a 9 in here, like I can't put a 9 on a 12 line because the other 3 cells would have to sum to... Yeah, I can't put a 9 on a 12 line. So the 9 is in one of those two. 8, 7, 6. Can I put 5 on a 12 line? Yes. So this is 1, 2, 3, or 5. If this was 5, actually, it's probably to do with the sum of these cells, isn't it? 9 has to be one of these. I can't put 9 on any of these lines, surely. Because if I put 9 on a 14 line, the other 3 cells would have to sum to 5, and you can't repeat digits on it. So 9 is in one of those two. I can't put 8 on a 12 line. So 8 is down here. Can I put 8 on a 13 line? Oh, no, 8 could be here. Actually, this is a little tricky. If this is 5, both of these lines would need to have 7 sums on them. Yeah, if this is 5, both of these lines would need to have 7 sums on them. So both of these would need 1, 2, 4, and that doesn't work because I can't make all of those from 1, 2, 4. So this is not a 5, this is 1, 2, or 3. Okay, this is trick. This is not as easy as... Nine on a 15 line would need digits that sum to 6. So this would be 913 with 2. They put 2 there and 2 down there. That all seems to work. 913 with 2 would be, leave this as 567. 567 with 2 is 20. That would work. If I put 9 down here, I'd need 3 digits that sum to 11, and I've got options for that. Oh, 6 is up here. I don't think that that's helping me, though, is it? And this doesn't seem to resolve. Because this could be... One, two, six is possible. 2, 3, 4 is possible. 1, 3, 5 isn't. So there's a 2 in one of those two. But these, if this is a 4, these have to sum to 17 and be 8, 9. If this is a 6, these have to sum to 15 and be 7, 8. So that is always an 8, and that's a 7 or a 9. That's weird. So there's a 3 in here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a 3 in here. So this is either 1, 2, if it's, or, so this is 1, 2, 3, must contain a 2. I can't put 9 in any of those. Oh, hang on. Can I put 9 here? No, because these would have to sum to 5. So there's no 9 in any of those. There's no 9 in any of those. 9 is in one of those 3, which means 9 is in one of those 3. And surely it's the same over here. I can't put 9 over here. In fact, I think I can't put 8 or 9 over here. So 9, right, 9 is over here, because I can't put 9 in any of those cells, and I can't put 9 here, because 9 here would mean these that have to sum to 3, and 9 here means those that have to sum to 4. So 9 is over here, making that the 7 and that the 9, which puts 7 up here. But I can't put 8 on these surely either, can I? Because if I put 8 here, this would still have to sum to 5. So 8 is over here, but not in the middle. So 8 is over here, which puts 8 in one of those two. But these are 1 or 2. They can't be 3, 4. They could be 5. They can't be 6, 7, 8, or 9. So these are only from 1, 2, and 5. Yeah, I'm regretting these number placements, but anyway. These are from 1, 2, and 5. What's the maximum digit you can put on a 12 line? It'd be a 6. So these are all from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Terrible pencil marking. There's no 4 or 6 in here. So these are from 1, 2, 3, 5. But one of these has to have something that's higher than... This is weird. So how do you make these lines up? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 1, 2... So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... So one of these has to be higher than 6. No, that can't, yeah, one of those has to be higher than 6. Where do I put the 7, 8, 9? I can't hide them all here. So one of these has to be higher than 6. That could be 7 or 8, or that could be 7. If this is 7, these are 1, 2, and 3. So there'd be a 3 in here. If this is an 8, these would be 1, 2, 3. But I can't make both of those true, can I? If this is 7 and this is 8, these would all have to be 1, 2, 3. And that's just blatantly wrong. Isn't it? Actually, I'm not sure it is. I'm not sure it is, you know. There's got to be a math trick here. What's the minimum these sum to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These sum to a minimum of 28. but I've got duplicates. Whoa, 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 whoa. These cells sum to a minimum of 28, but those two cells are counted twice, and that cell, let's use green, is counted 4 times. So the minimum here, if this is a 1, where am I going to do this math? I'm sorry, I'm going to do it off in a spreadsheet. If this is a 1, the minimum would be 4. If these were 2 and 3, they'd be counted twice, and the minimum would be 10. And then these, if they're their minimums, would be 4, 5, 6, and 7. 4, 5, 6, and 7. 13 is 22, isn't it? 4, 5, 6, and 7. 4 and 5 is 9, 6 and, is 22. So the minimum those cells can add to is 36. And the minimum, and that's if these are 1, 2, and 3. Then the minimum these could be, it would be 1, 2, 1, and 2, which would be another 6. So the minimum that all of this can sum to, if these are 1 with 2, 3, is 42. What does this actually sum to? Way above that. Damn it! I thought that might be it. But if this is 1 with 2, 3, but I couldn't then repeat the 1 or the 2 or the 3 out here. Actually, that's important. Because if this is 1, 2, this couldn't be a 1 or a 2. If this was 1, 2, wait a minute, what the heck? If this was 1, 2, if this was 1, 2, if this was 1, 2, that couldn't be 1, 2. So that'd be the 3, and that couldn't be 1, 2. So that would be the 3, and that would be a 5. And I'd already have 8 here. I think I need to put a 5 on here, because if this was 1, 2, neither of these, this would knock 1, say this was 1 and this was 2. This one would knock 1 out of all of those, and this would knock 2 out of all of those. So whatever is in these two cells can't be in any of those two cells, because that sees both of those and that sees both of those. Oh, this is nuts, the geometry on this. So if this is 1, 2, this is a minimum of 3, 5, which is 8. But this could, and if, but if, I'm pretty certain there needs to be a 5 in here, but I can't see how to prove that. Because if this is 1, 2, this is 3, because I can't put 1 or 2 here. This is 5. This becomes 8. This now needs to sum to 4. And I can't do 2, 2, and I can't do 1, 3. There must be a 5 in here. And those both see that cell, so that's not a 5. But there must... Whatever is in that cell isn't in any of these cells. So if this was a 1, actually that matters. If this was a 1 that was tripled, making this all sum to 36, the minimum in these would actually be higher, because I couldn't put 1 in any of those cells. So this would be 2, 3, and 2, 3, which would be 10, not 6. But actually, I think it would be worse than that. But does that mean I gain freedom if I make this higher? What did these sum to? 24, 37, 51. So 51 is my total. Can that be an 8? I suppose is my question. Because if that's an 8, these have to be 1, 2, and 3. If these are 1, 2, and 3, that can't be 1, 2, or 3. So its minimum would be 4. Meaning these would need to sum to maybe up to 8, so I could put a 5 there. But I know there's a 7 or an 8 down here. I think I've lost the plot. I massively lost the plot. Chili is much better at math than I am. If this is a 5, these are 1, 2, and 4. And all of those, no, that digit could go there. So, oh man, I was trying to see how those lines interact. A 12 line needs a 1 on it. Hang on, a 12 line needs a 1 on it. It needs a 1 and a 2. Because if this is much simpler. A 12 line needs a 1 on it. So I'm going to get rid of this colouring. I think it may have helped, but I'm not sure. A 12 line, if it doesn't have a 1 on it, it's 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5 is 9 plus 5 is 14. So that doesn't work. If it doesn't have a 2 on it, then it's 1, 3, 4, 5, which is 4 plus 9, which is 13. So this line needs a 1 and a 2 on it. And this line needs a 1 and a 2 on it. So there has to be a 1 and a 2 on each of those lines. Now, I can double up by putting one of them there, but... And the 13 needs a 1 on it, because otherwise 2, 3, 4, 5. So there must be a 1 on this line. So if this is a 1, that's a 1, and now there's no 1 on this 12 line. So this can't be a 1 because then there's no 1 on this 12 line. This can't be a 1 because then there's no 1 on this 12 line. This can't be a 1. If this is a 1, then the 1 is in here. I think this has to be a 1. If this is a 1, that's a 1. No, that could work. But this can't be a 1. And yet, I can't put 1s in both of... This is a 2-5 pair. No. Hang on. If I make this a 1... If I make this a 1, then to get a 1 onto this yellow line, I have to put it there, and now there's no 1 on the blue line. This is not a 1. If this is a 1, to get a 1 on the yellow line, I have to put it down there, which puts it on the blue line, which means that isn't a 1. If this is a 1, that's a 1, because I can't put it there. Because it's the only place I can put it on the yellow line, which takes it out of there and takes it out of there. If this is a 1, it takes it out of both of those. If this is a 1, this is a 2-5 pair, which takes 2 out of there and out of there. This is a 1-3 pair. There's no 3 there. The 1-3 takes 3 out of there. But this is 1-3. This is 4 on these lines. So this in order to 4, this has to sum to 8. So it's either 2, 6 or 5, 3, and it can't be 5, 3. This is the 6. This is the 2. There's no 6 here. This 4 goes, this has to sum to 7. So this is a 2, 5 pair, giving me a 2, 5 pair in the box, taking 2, 5 out of there. Oh, this is beautiful. I had to think about ones. But the 3 means that's the 4. So these have to sum to 8. These are 7, 8, 9. There's no 9 there because the total wouldn't work. So 7 plus 4. No, I've got my totals wrong. I did that wrong. Roll back, roll back, roll back. So 4, this had to sum 4. This had to sum to 8. So it's 2, 6 or 5, 3, and it can't be 5, 3. This is 6 and 2. Great, that's done. That takes 6 and 2 out of here. I'm completely messed up. There's no 3 here either. This have to sum to 9. So it's 2, 7 or 5, 4. I got that math completely wrong, but the 2 here makes this the 5, which means these have to sum to 8, but this is 4. So this is the 4, making that the 5, that the 2. This is 7, so these have to sum to 5, which is 1, 4 or 3, 2, and it can't be a 2. So this is the 4. These sum to 11, which means to get to the 12, that's the 1 and that's the 3. These are 3, so these have to sum to 11. These are the 7, 8, 9, without there being a 9 here. These have to sum to 11, which is 7, 4, which it can't be. So it's 8 and 3, which takes 8 out of those, and that's the 7, 9 pair. There's no 8 there. There's no 2 there. That's the 4, and 4 comes out of those. That's absolutely bonkers. But I think it's correct. It's very tempting to push the button to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are 5 and 9. 9. That's crazy. And yeah, I understand that the digit placement and everything is not ideal, but it's still better than it was, and we will work on it. But not for the release of this pack. 4 has to go up here now. Wow. Okay. Oh, this 3 makes that the 7 and that the 3, which makes that the 9 and that the 7. 3 can't be in this column anymore because of that 3. So 3 is up here with the 2. This is 2, 3, so that's the 4. 8 and 4 is 12, so to get to 21 I need another 9. Because remember, that's a 21 clue. So that's the 9, and there's no 9 in there. So now I know what these 3 digits are. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. But there's no 4 in any of those. So that's the... no, wait. I did that wrong. There's no 4 there. What are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 6, and 7. 3, 6, and 7 is what those are. But there's no 3 there. There's no 6 there. That's the 7. 3, 6. Typos are just things that I do. I fully acknowledge this. This is absolutely nuts. 7 is in one of these 2 now. 4 is in one of those 2. Oh, the 3 looks down, making that the 1 and that the 3. Two is over here with the because 2 is not in any of those. So 2 is in one. Oh, 2 is right there. So 2 is in one of those two. Five is up here. Not sure about the 6 and the 7 in this column though. This is 1, 5, 6, and 9. Well, I can't put 6 in any of those, so that's a 6. These are 1, 5, and 9. There's no 5 there. There's no 9 there. That's the 1, and this is a 5, 9 pair. Oh, this 8 takes 8 out of there. That becomes the 8. Oh, the 5 makes that the 9, that the 5, which makes that the 9, and this is the 1. And I've finished the middle band. The 1 looks like making that the 2 and that the 1. And now it's just these weird things. This puzzle is... I'm at half an hour. I know there's going to be complaints about the display of these constraints. We iterate, we improve. So what are these? 3 can go anywhere. 4 can go anywhere. 5 is in one of those two, and 8 is in one of those two. Okay. 1, 2, 3 anywhere. 4 anywhere. 6, 7. Right. There'll be something up here. 1 is in one of those two. 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 anywhere. 7 anywhere. Yeah, okay. So it's got to be something to do with these. So I need to put 1 up here somewhere. Don't feel... One is in one of these, but I don't see... Like, they're quintuples in the column, which doesn't feel particularly... Oh, I can do math. I mean, I can't, but I can. I think I can figure out what that cell is, and that cell. Just trying to figure out how. We know the entire box sums to 45 because it's all the digits from 1 to 9. Oh, maybe I can't. Because this is at least 35. This is 30. Wait a minute. The sum of these digits is 35, but that digit is counted twice. So the sum of these cells, the sum of these cells with that counted twice is 35, which means these digits have to make the difference between 45 and 35, but if these just... If this was 6, these would have to... Yeah, it doesn't... This has to be the 8. Because if this was a 2, these cells here would have to sum to... If this was a 2, these would sum to 6, and these cells here would have to sum to 39. But they sum to 35 with that cell counted twice, which means they actually sum to less than 35. Because if this was a 2, then this would actually be a 4. So this is actually 35 minus whatever that cell is. So these cells sum to either 33 if that's a 2, which would mean these would need to sum to 12, which they can if that's 4 or 8. Or if this is an 8, these cells would sum to 27, and these cells would be... It just doesn't work. This has to be the 8 and this has to be the 2. That's insane. And I can do the same up here, I'm sure. These cells, I'm going to get rid of the colouring down here because I'm going to reuse it. These cells, with that counted twice, sum to 35. So these cells need to sum to more than 10, otherwise I'm not going to get to 45. So if this was 7, 3, these cells would have to sum to 35, but that cell is counted twice. So even if this was a 3, this would be a 6, and these cells would end up being 41, and the math doesn't work. So these cells can't sum to 10. These have to be more, it has to be the 6 and the 3. I hope that makes sense. It's really weird. That's really weird. Which means 3 and 7 and 3 and 7, this is now a 3-7 pair. Which means these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are 1 and 9. 4 is up here. Can I do more than that? What is this quadruple? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. There's no 6 up here. So 6 must be down here, but there's no 4 down here, so 4 must be up here. Okay, that didn't help me much. What about this quadruple? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 5, 9. Well, there's no 1 or 9 up here. This is 2, 5 because of the 1, 9 pair. So 2, 5 comes out of here. This is 1, 9. And the 2, 5 takes the 5 out of here. This becomes 4, 8, which takes the 8 out of here. This becomes 5, 6. Now, these had to sum to 13 because I've already got 2 on the line. If this is 9, these would have to sum to 4, and I can't do it. There's at least a 5 here. This is the 1. This is the 9. Now, these are 3, so these have to sum to 12. I can't do 6, 6, so it's 5 and 7. Which means this is 6 and 3. 9 and 6 is 15 plus 3 and 2. That is 20. The 9 makes this the 8 and this the 9. The 1 makes that the 2 and that the 1. Now, can I do the same trick up here? These have to sum to 18. If this is a 3, 9, if this is a 9, 3, these are 12. These would have to sum to 6, which I could do with 4, 2. Because remember, this is 17 and this is 18. I acknowledge we didn't do great. I didn't do great. This is fully on me. But if this is 9, 3, if this is 9, 3, these are 12, and these would have to sum to 5, and there's no way of doing that. So this is the 1, this is the 9, these sum to 4, so these have to sum to 13, which is 8 and 5. So this is the 4 and the 2. 3, 4, 2, 9 is 11, that's 18. Right, and now we've got the totals. The 2 makes this the 3 and this the 2. The 9 makes this the 8 and this the 9, and now we're just down to Sudoku. Oh, this is cool. That is beautiful. And don't yell at Chili, yell at BremSter for the markings. So let's mark these quadruples. 1, 2, I need to put a 3 in one of those. And I need to put a 4. This is a 3, 4 pair. 3, 4, 3, 4. This is a 3, 4 pair, which means that's the 6 and that's the 7. And I can take the corner marks out of those cells. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 6 and 7, which means I can take the corner marks out of those, and this becomes the 1 and this becomes the 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 6, 7 goes down here. So these are 2, 6, and 7. There's no 6 there. There's no 7 there. Oh, the 2 looks across. 2, 7. That's the 6. So that's the 7, that's the 6, that's the 2. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4 and 7. And the 7 looks across, making that the 4 and that the 7. So this is a pair. The 5 looks across saying that's not the 5, so that's the 5. The 8 looks across saying that's not the 8. That's where I should have started. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 3 makes that the 4 and that the 3. And 3 looks up making that the 4 and that the 3. And that is the solution to Killer Lineup by Chili. Puzzle is stunning. And even though there are going to be complaints about the digits not being visible because of the constraint, trust me, it is still better than the way having overlapping killer cages. Overlapping killer cages are terrible, but if we create another puzzle like this, we will continue to work on it. Maybe we will have the lines continue up into the corner so you can have the digit in the corner. That might be a nice way to do it. So the line will do something like that and then piggyback up into the corner so the digits are up in corners like they are with normal killer. That might be a nice way to do it. The presentation of this grid is really pretty, but the functionality of it is not great, so we will continue to improve. Thank you everyone for watching. I really hope you're enjoying the puzzles, and as always, good luck with your solving.